Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the show. Who are you? This is your host, Dr. Reddick, and I am glad to be with you this week. It's another Thursday as usual. We are always calling it Magical Thursday because we get to meet a lot of people. We get to visit a lot of countries. We get to hear stories. We get to hear experiences that will encourage us and empower us as we go on. The year is still young, I would say, and I know we only have a couple of months, 4 months, around 3.5, but still the year is young and we can still accomplish a lot. So, like I say, welcome. Today we are in South Africa. We are going to meet a beautiful queen. We are going to meet a lady, a queen who is a powerhouse. She empowers, she encourages, she motivates, she pushes through. She has been a midwife, she has been a mother, she is everything. She is taking care of teen girls, she's taking care of teen mothers. She does a lot of coaching challenges for these lovely women, lovely teen girls, lovely teen mothers. She encourages them, she empowers them, she enables them to come from where they are to where they are supposed to be. She gives them purpose back, because with their experiences, with where they are, they feel like everything has shattered, but nothing shatters until you shatter your life yourself. And she brings this message very loud and clear to all these young teens, to all these young mothers, to all these single women, to empower them and to show them that actually they are more capable to do more than enough, and they can move from where they are to where they are supposed to be. So without taking any more time, I will introduce her. I will bring her up so that she can introduce herself. And I know some of you already know her, but to those who do not know her, they will be able to know who she is. She is from South Africa, and I think I will just beam her in. Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
I am awesome. And you, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm so glad to have you on my show. Who are you? I'm so glad that you welcomed us in South Africa, and I am glad that you are just a powerhouse and we are learning a lot from you.
Oh, I am thrilled to be on your platform. Thank you, dearest Leah, for having me. It's a joy for me to be with you tonight, really. And let me just take off my glasses because I see you can't see my face properly. Now I can't see properly either, but it's fine. We can talk. Thank you so much for having me once again. I know we talked about it before when we were backstage, and I asked if we could have a small prayer before we start. And I just want to say, dear God, thank you for this moment that we are giving us. Thank you for this beautiful time that we are spending, Leah, myself, and everyone who is watching. Thank you for your inspiration. Thank you for the motivation. Thank you for being the source of everything. Thank you for showing us that through the example of Jesus Christ, that we have power within us and we can indeed achieve miracles in our lives. We can attract wonderful things in our life, and we can turn the broken to life. So thank you, God, for this opportunity, and thank you, Leah, for this opportunity as well. I just love you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Amen and amen to that. Because we all believe that it's only through the grace of God that we are able to do what we can do. It's only the grace of God, strength to do what we are able to do. It doesn't take just any energy from wherever. It takes the grace upon our lives to be able to move things, to change one life after the other.
That's so true. That's so true. Thank you for this. And to come back to what you said, introduce myself. I will try to introduce myself as as well as possible in a, in a very short way. So my name is, most of you know me as Kulu Ella Eva, because this is my profile. Well, Kulu Ella is the surname of my dear husband. So this is my married surname, but my maiden surname is Arissani. So I think many people think I'm two people. Some think it's Eva Arissani, some think it's Eva Nkuluela. Well, I'm just one person. That's why I put, you see my name, Eva Arissani Nkuluela. I am originally from Gabon, so I'm Gabonese. Hello, bonjour. Living in South Africa, I've been in South Africa since 2003. It's a very long story, but I came to study and I fell in love with the country and the opportunities out there. And although I love my country, but there were more opportunities here, and I'm glad we did. So most of my children are born here and we stay here, we live here, we are permanent residents here in South Africa. What am I? I am an entrepreneur. I am a mother of three daughters, three princesses.
Wow.
Like I said, I am married to the most handsome guy. His name is Romeo. And just a second, I'm not Juliet. So
Well, you should have just said, yeah, he's Romeo and he's Juliet. Eva Juliet.
Yes, that's true. Yes, you're right. I am Miss Juliet. Yes. So hello, honey. And then I am also a learner of life. I've learned a lot, from my childhood up to now, and I keep on learning every day. I studied languages at University of Pretoria, and I decided to become a translator, and that led me to entrepreneurship as well. So I am the founder and director of a company called Transcentral Pty Limited, and I also am the co-founder, executive director, and initiator of a non-profit organization called She Phoenix Femme Phoenix, which probably we'll talk about later on. And of course, I am a fervent believer, and I believe not just because I want to say I believe, but because I've seen things happening in my life. And my life, my success is based on my faith. And that's why it's so important for me, you see. And I am also, like a product of collaboration. And I'm very happy and proud to say that, because I'm surrounded by extraordinary queens like you. And I just want to send a shout out to my sisters from all over, Mireille Toulekima, Ona Miller, and it's her birthday, by the way. Happy birthday, yes. Ona. And it's also the Female Civility Day. Hey, to all the female leaders out there. And you are one of them, of course, Leah. And there are so many others, Lillian Moller, Zintle Nyaka, Cordelia Gaffar, you name them, Claudia Anna, Charlotte Moreau, and there are so many. Actually, I can't name all of them. So forgive me if I didn't say your name, but you know who you are in my heart and all my friends. And I believe that collaboration is very important, because it's together that we are stronger, that togetherness, it brings more than just being alone and doing things on your own, So this is who I am. I am so much more, but it will take a year for you to understand who I am. But in a very short version, this is who I am.
Awesome. Wow, Eva, you are I just love the way you said, your success is a product of collaboration and your faith. And, in so many ways, so many people never understand that nobody is an island. So many things happen when you collaborate with people of the same mind, with people who are thinking in the same direction, with people who have, ambition in the same direction as yours. And as you've mentioned, all these beautiful queens, we see and we know how much they're doing out there. They're impacting lives of a lot of women, a lot of people in the society. They're doing a lot. And it is vital, just the way you've done a shout out for them, to always remember and to know that whoever we are, whoever we become, it's not just us, it is a collaboration of other people. And I can also
Exactly.
I can testify to that, because even to me myself, coming, even being able to do this kind of shows, is a collaboration with a queen from the CEO of She Exists. If it wasn't for I have even thought of doing something like this, because when she invited me to collaborate in her first book, Collaboration, Stepping into Your Territories, I would have never met her. And I met her in a very, very awkward way. But, it was meant to be. Paths are always meant to be when you meet people who push you to the next level, because you don't know, in the next level, there will be somebody else. And as they surround you, as they cover you, as they protect you, you are being guided in those footsteps, and you're learning also from people who have walked that journey. And so thank you so much that you brought that point even before we went even further, because it shows an
Yeah.
appreciation.
Yes, no,
And I'm that
definitely.
reminder.
No, but when you think about it, we are one because we
Yes,
come from the same source. We are
yes,
all children of God. So it means that,
yes,
and like you know that golden saying that says that don't do to others what you wouldn't want others to do to you. I think it's so
exactly,
beautiful because it sums up everything, about life.
exactly,
So when someone does something good for you, how can't you just be grateful, And I think there is
exactly,
a power in saying thank you and in acknowledging what other people do to you. And
exactly.
that's why I can't do this without saying that, because I think about all of them. And
Yes.
I even forgot Ariette Kataba. Her story matters. I remember during her show, I had a breakthrough. Imagine when you think that you've dealt with everything you've gone through, and suddenly during the middle of an interview, you have a breakthrough, another one. So really, for me, I was like, really, Ariette, how could you do that to me, like live, And it happened. It was beautiful. So she really has a special place in my heart as well. And
Mm,
yeah, so all those powerhouses really are in my way, and I think that God has his way of sending
mhm,
people to you, and a lot of
mhm.
people don't understand that the miracle happens through people most of the time.
Exactly,
And if
exactly,
we fail to see it, then we miss the miracle, you see. And
exactly.
yeah, so it's just like my husband is a miracle for me as well, and I just can't stop talking about him and saying all those things, and then he will be like, really, Eva, you had to do that and say that live? Yes, because that's who I am. Yeah, so that's just
Oh,
how I am.
beautiful.
And yes, I'm like a child sometimes, but I like being like that because it's me and I'm not scared. I'm not ashamed. I'm just who I am and I'm proud
And
of
that
who I am. And it should be like that, I think.
exactly, that's the beauty of it, because in our faith, even the Bible tells us that we ought to be like small children. If you can't be like a
Exactly.
small child, you can't really appreciate and not understand what things happen before you. So if you feel, we are, there is different interpretation to that, but it shows the excitement, and it shows the appreciation as well, and it also shows that you're living life as it is. That is who you
Exactly.
are. That is the most important thing, because you can't live somebody else's life, and you can't live somebody else's, you can't walk somebody else's journey. You can only share yours and how you feel, and you can give this inspiration gets transferred to somebody else who doesn't know how to do all that and understands, okay, so I have to be opening my eyes to watch out for those collaborations that come across me, because you never know, one of them might be taking me to the next level. In Christianity, we call it
Exactly.
destiny helpers. Destiny helpers, they come and they push you, they walk with you, they train you, you look up to somebody who
I'm
makes you
feeling
go to the
you.
next
It's
step.
getting hot in here. I'm feeling it. Yeah, go, go, go. I'm feeling it. It's wonderful. Yes.
Maybe one day I
Christina,
will do a show about, I will do a biblical course on my show, so that I can walk people into some biblical verses, and, you
I'm
know,
telling you. Yes, do that. And I'm your girl anytime, because that's some of the things I'm teaching to my girls, that
awesome.
you have to use the word of God in your daily life.
Exactly.
You don't
Exactly.
take things literally, like, for example, if I say someone hurt you and slap you on the right cheek, then you just turn the other cheek. No, there's a message behind, and you have to
Mm,
understand that message and apply it into your life. And you will see how things get easier when you are
mm,
going
mm.
through something. You would feel that you have the answer because you know how to go and deal with that. And it's just beautiful. But if we keep on talking about the Bible, we will not even talk about
We go
what we are supposed to talk about. But it's just amazing. You see the connection there, like you see,
exactly.
it's
Exactly.
flowing,
It
flowing.
flows. Exactly. The spirit. Anyway,
The
oh no,
spirit.
when the
Anyway.
spirit is there, everything just go into the right direction. Anyway, so Eva Arissani. I love to
Yeah,
pronounce
you can
people's
just call
names
me Eva.
in any because I just want to have names because last week but one I had also another very difficult name and I was struggling and I was like, God help me to pronounce this name properly. So every time I looked at your name, I was really making sure I am practicing. Eva is very
Okay.
easy, Arissani, but then it comes to the one with the N. I'm like, God, I pronounce that name in the right direction.
Yeah, I know, but you don't even have to because it's my married surname, but it's
I
pronounced
know.
Nkulu Ella.
Ella.
Nkulu
That's
Ella.
very beautiful.
Yeah.
It's very beautiful
Thank
name. Very,
you.
very
Thank
beautiful name.
you.
Very,
Yeah.
very
But you can just call me Eva, then that's easy.
so I tried. I will not say I didn't try. I tried. I
Oh
tried
yes,
the language.
and
I tried the
you
pronunciations. It's always good
you
to try
did well.
pronunciation. Thank you.
And you did well.
So, Efat, tell us your journey to becoming a coach. You are a coach in empowering and inspiring the girl child, young women, advocating for their rights, vetoing for the teen mothers, single moms who have been left out there on their own and they don't know what next. Tell us your journey. How did this become your calling?
Well, we would have to go back. Well, I'm now
Mhm,
39. Yes, that's correct. I'm 39 and I'm proud of it. Turning 40 next year, January.
mm,
Big 40. We have to go back 25 years ago because it all comes from something that happened when I was still a teenager.
mhm,
And, something that almost broke me and destroyed me
mhm,
became, the source of something stronger, of something that brings, like the broken to life. I
mm.
think that's how I can say that. Sorry, it's always a little bit emotional for me to go back there. You see, even after all these years, I I still have to, find the strength to go back. Although I've made peace with it and I love who I am.
Mm,
But yes, so here we go. So about 25 years ago, I fell pregnant at a very young age. I
mm,
was 14. I was 14. I was young, and I was coming from a broken family. My mother and my father split up, and I was also lost. And by lost, I mean I was lost. I had no identity. I didn't know who I was at all because we didn't live in Gabon during my first years, like during my childhood. So from
mm,
birth up to the age of 10, I grew up in France, which explains also my strong accent. Like really, I grew up in France, and it's at that age, between the childhood period, that
mm,
you build your foundation, and that's what happened to me. So I was a Gabonese by nationality, but I grew up in France and in Paris.
okay.
And we traveled a lot also because my father was a diplomat. So when my mom and my dad broke up, you can imagine I didn't know what to think. And it didn't come easily. It was not just that they broke up and then we still had, our life all
Mm,
perfect and stuff. Now we went from top to bottom, rock bottom, like from having everything, a silver spoon in our mouth, to nothing at all. Sometimes we didn't even have food on our table. just imagine going from that to that for a child. And going from studying in France to studying to Gabon and dealing with different cultures. And it's a reality, you know, the cultures are not the same. Just to give you an example, in France, for example, boyfriend and girlfriend doesn't, well, at that time, didn't mean, for example, sleeping together immediately. You know, it was more like, you know, that romance that they tend to show in the movies, you know, in the cartoons and stuff. So it was more something romantic like that. While in Gabon, what I was confronted with was more like, if you want to fit in, you have to sleep with a boy, for example, you know. And I was completely lost. So I was lost at home. I was lost at school. I I didn't know what to do. And because my home was broken, then I wanted to build something great at school, you know, have my own thing, you know, like feel like I'm someone at school. And I had a low self-esteem. You can't even imagine. You know, like people will come and say, you're ugly. And I would say, yes, I am ugly. Um, people will, my so-called friends will say, but why are you wearing those shoes? And the next day I wouldn't wear those shoes anymore because I thought, they said it's not nice, so I can't. I had no self-esteem at all, you know. And that had a toll on me, so much so that, you know, when the popular guy told me I was pretty, you can imagine what happened in my in my head. I was like, wow, that's the popular guy, you know, like that guy, you see. And then I thought, no, you know, wow, you know. And for many months we were just boyfriend and girlfriends, you know, spending time together until some of his friends came to us and asked us to do it. And we looked at each other like, no. You know, we just enjoyed each other's presence. And for me, it was perfect like that. But from that moment on, we didn't see each other the same way anymore. Like everyone was pushing us into doing that. And we eventually did it. And you know what? It was not even what I expected it to be. It was not, you know, what you see in movies, in cartoons. It was not romantic at all. And I felt like, what did I do? Why did I even do that? Did I even want to do it, you know? But, you know, then you feel like, okay, now I've got something to tell. I've got, you know, I can fit in now. And before you know it, I was pregnant. And imagine, I was so naive. I didn't even know I was pregnant until like 4 months. Because you see, my period were still very irregular. So I could spend 5 months with no menstruation at all, you know, because the cycle was not yet regular, you see. So for me, it was no biggie. Like, no, there's nothing. And it's only when I was 4 months pregnant that I realized that I was pregnant. And believe me, my world just shut down. It was a nightmare. And I can tell you, it was one thing after the other. First of all, I had to face my mom. She actually found out because I never found the courage to say anything. And when she found out, you know, our African mothers, how they, they can behave. So I will not explain that night with you, but it was a nightmare I will never forget. That night I didn't sleep at all. And I think I probably cried, you know, all the tears from my body, at least I thought so. And then after that, I had to face my boyfriend's family, and they rejected me and they denied the pregnancy. And the way they did it, it was so painful because they didn't just say, no, okay, this is not our child. You know, they insulted me. They called me names. They called my mom names. And they said, you know, maybe come back to us after 2 or 3 years. If the child looks like our son, then we will help you. But what do we do in the meantime? Remember, I told you that we had gone from top to bottom. There was not even enough food for us. So imagine now having a baby, you know? And when they did that, it was in front of me. My heart was broken. You know, seeing my mom being insulted because of me, seeing the guy I loved reject me, denied me like that, and his mom insulting me, you know. And then my mom looked at me in such a way, you know, I felt it at cellular levels. I was like, I screwed up big time. I felt so responsible, you know. It's like I woke up and, you know, someone just opened up my eyes and I saw my world being shattered completely, you know. And I had that life inside of me. I didn't know what I was going to become. And the shame and everyone, I am telling you, everyone was insulting me. At one stage, I felt like I was less than an animal because, you know, you give love to animals. At least, I don't even know if people insult animals, you know. And sometimes words, I personally think that words are worse than
Yes.
anything else.
Yes.
Because once you say something, it will hurt you. And if you're not careful, it will follow you until the end of your life. You know, it's words are powerful. They can give
Yes.
life or they can break as well, you know.
Exactly.
And it broke me. So much so that, you know, at one stage I thought, no, this is it. That that day when they rejected me, they denied me, they called me names, and I saw that, you know, I screwed up. And I thought, what am I going to do? What is the future? Like, how are we going to take care of that child when my mom doesn't even have enough money to take care of us? That's when, you know what? I try to do something that today I think, wow, I can't believe I went that far. I wanted to end it all. And I remember that day, you know, I remember how cold I was, how I was aware of what I was doing. At least I thought. I went to the kitchen and I grabbed some pills, maybe 100 of them. I wrote a letter and I took all the pills. And for me, I thought it was the end, you know, until I woke up on that hospital bed. And when I opened my eyes, my first thought was like, am I in heaven or hell? Or what is this? And then when I realized that I was alive, I thought, so even God doesn't want me. Like, you know, like really. I was like, so I'm trying to end it, and you're like, no way, my child, where are you going? You stay there, you know? So I thought, okay. And you know, that's when something unbelievable happened on that hospital bed. While I was talking to myself, saying, but God, I want to save that child. You know, I want to stop that hurt. I want to remove the shame I've brought to my family, you know, and you don't want me to go. So what am I supposed to do now? I'm only 14. I don't work. I'm still going to school. You see, you know the situation. And suddenly that voice, Leah, that voice, that said to me, Eva, don't worry, you will make it. Just trust me, you will make it. Leah, that voice never left me, ever. I thought, and I don't know how I found the strength to believe that voice, but I said, okay, you know what? I don't know how I'm going to make it. I'm scared. I'm really scared, but I'm going to take a leap of faith and just take one step at a time, you know, one step at a time. And I will take all the insults and all the shame and everything. But one thing is for sure, I will succeed. And that was the beginning of Eva, the overcomer, of Eva, the fighter, because from that moment, you could insult me, you could shame me, you could, you know, like do whatever you wanted to know. Nobody could remove that thought from my heart because it was coming from a part of me that that's so deep in me that it was my truth. And that truth is what brought me to where I am today. So along the way, I learned many lessons, you know. First of all, I learned that you have to trust your talents. You have to develop yourself. You have to have faith, you know, and unwavering faith that things will happen. You have to dare. You have to knock. You have to seek. You have to listen. You have to be aware of the circumstances you find yourself in. And doing that, I went from one achievement to another, you see. And from there, I met incredible people who helped me become the person I am today, you see. And among those people, there's my dearest husband. He's very, very, very dear to me because he was my personal coach. Like he gave me back the self-esteem I lost. You know, the first time he told me you're beautiful, I was like, what? Do you need glasses? You know, because I didn't think anybody could love me or find me beautiful. And when he told me, I love you, I was like, are you sure? Or you just want to sleep with me? You know? And
Yes.
with his love, I learned to love myself. And through the years, I learned to accept my past, you know, and through everything, I learned that we all have a past, but how it influences our present and our future is up to us.
Oh,
You see,
yes.
and that's what I did, you know. I use my past to help me achieve what I wanted to. And along the way, I found my purpose. I understood that, you know, I had to go through this to become the person I am now. Because now you see, because I've been a teenage mom, I know what teenage moms are going through. Nobody, someone who hasn't gone through that cannot understand the hurt, you know, that everything that goes through your heart and your mind. And no, it's not possible because it is a nightmare. And you get judged, you know, and then nobody wants, and you know, the worst thing is, for everyone, you are garbage. You are spoiled. You know,
Yes.
you've done a sin. You are judged, you know, and nobody wants to give you a second chance. But now look at me. I'm not the, you know, look at me. I went through the whole process. Someone told me one day, you know, Eva, when you restore one life, it makes a bigger difference than you think. And then I thought, why? And the person says, look at the mirror. And then I thought, wow, that's so true. Look at me now. You know, I went through all of this, and yet look at what I've achieved. I'm an author, a published author. I've studied, I'm a graduate. I graduated at university in one of the best university in Africa. I've got 3 daughters. I am married. I'm not like, you know, going from one man to another. I am a successful entrepreneur. I started that nonprofit organization that to date has touched the lives of more than 200 girls and women all over Africa.
Wow.
We are sponsoring teenage mothers who are going back to school next year. One of them is already at university. We are paying for a bursary. We are paying for her studies to continue her law studies. I mean, who would have imagined that Eva, who went through what she went through when she was 14, would do what I'm doing now? You see? And that's when I understood that, you know what? This is my purpose. God raised me from the dead for a reason. And if I don't do that, well, I better run myself back to my wherever I'm coming from, because you'll be like, really, girl? So I give you a second chance and that's what you're doing? My life is not just mine. I'm a blessing for many. And I think that's what everyone is. We are blessings for many. Look, Leah, you are a blessing to me now. You are a blessing for all the powerhouses that you know, everyone you are having on your show. And this is beautiful. When you understand that, then you see life differently. And that's how I got to become a girl child empowerment champion. because I want girl children to have a shot at life. I want to prevent teenage pregnancy all over the world because I know what it does, And sometimes, most of the time, the culprit is low self-esteem, poverty. They are also naive. Is being naive a sin? And something that people forget, we have all been teenagers. And when you are a teenager, there are hormones going crazy, and you need someone to be there for you to help you go through this. And I think it's even worse now for our children because there are so many things going on, and they need us. And that's when I thought I need to be there for the girl child. I need to be there for teen moms because I want them to know, first of all, that they are not garbage. They have something beautiful in them. Just because they made a mistake, it doesn't mean that, they are done. No, I said that teenage pregnancy is not a dead end. And I repeat that. Yes. Teenage pregnancy is not a dead end. And also the other thing is, there are cases also of rape. There are cases of girl-child marriages. There are cases of so many, but irrespective of the circumstances, a teen mom deserves a second chance. And yes. This is my fight. And I know a lot of people turn a blind eye. Like I see when I do my post, some people don't even want to comment because they're like, oh, this is so shameful. Like, we will, that's a non-profit organization advocating for teen moms. Really? Yes, I'm here to say yes. Yes, because they need someone to advocate for their rights. Because nobody here can tell me that they have never made a mistake in their life, however small the mistake was. So who are you to judge? You see, and that's what I'm saying. And that's why I'm fighting. That's my message. And I want them to understand that when Jesus went through everything he went through, he was a man. Do you see the beauty in that? Because when you understand that we are made in God's image, then you understand that you have a power deep inside of you. A power that if you manage to unlock that power, no one, nothing will stop you. You will become unstoppable. Just like our God is unshakable. You see? And that's when I decided that, what, God, use me. I'm an instrument of your will. You have to use me. But I'm telling you, and that's how I speak, God, I said, I'm telling you, you better give me the resources because if you don't, we have a problem. So you have to give me the resources. You have to give me the quality people who will work with me because I can't do this alone. And you have to give me the knowledge. You have to reveal yourself to me so that I can also empower, your daughters. And that's what he's doing. That's when I became a coach. That's when I started all the challenges that we are doing because, I'm tired of people talking. We're done talking. It's now time for action. Talking, conference, talking. Okay, well, please, I want those words to translate into action. Exactly. How are you helping people? How are you helping, those girls, those boys? What are you doing? That's when I came up with the challenges because I want them to earn their knowledge. I want them to develop themselves. I want them to, to understand what it means to become someone, to become self-reliant, to have that self-esteem, to understand the word of God, to be strong, to not to rely on anyone, to develop love, all of this. And also to become financially independent. So we've got different programs that we have, and we don't give. We did that during COVID-19, obviously. We gave money, but now we came back to the original plan where we don't give money. We equip them, and we impact their lives with life skills, with bursaries, with hope. Hope. I think hope is the most beautiful thing that ever existed.
Exactly.
Because when you have hope, you can wake up in the morning with a smile on your face.
Yes.
You can hear the birds singing. You can see the beauty around you.
Yes.
You
Oh,
are
yes.
open to something better, you see? So, sorry, I'm talking too much. Carry on.
It's awesome. Whatever and that's the most important thing, because in this show is to empower. And what you're talking about is not just anything, but it's empowerment. It is encouraging somebody else. You've talked about so many important points. You've said how a teen mom deserves a second chance. You have talked about pregnancy is not a dead end. You have talked about how, you are empowering one. Why? Because you have walked that journey. You have experienced being in that place. You've experienced the highs and the lows, both in different dimensions. So you've gone through a full score of this experience where you understand the pain, you understand their plight, you understand what they're going through. Some people might not understand. That is why they'll criticize. They will not understand because they've never gone into that journey. And that's why they always say, you can never tell somebody, oh, I'm so sorry about what you're going through, when you really don't understand what they're going through. You have to put yourself in that shoe and feel that burden of that person, to be able to have that sincerity of serving that person, of walking alongside that person. And you have been in that shoe to walk alongside all these young mothers, teen mothers, to be able to go out there, empower the girl child, and to show them that, life is beyond what you see right now. Inspiring them. And I love what you say about, you are empowering them, you are inspiring them, then you are equipping them to go out, because that has always been something that I have a passion about. Because I see people say, support, give money, but what then? That money will come and go. But are you empowering the people? Are you giving them skills that when that money is finished, they learn how to multiply that money? They learn how to work that money, to, work it for them, to be able to provide for them. Not that they will receive it today, receive it tomorrow, receive it until kingdom come. It is about multiplication. It is about, if I give you 1 cent, you bring it into 20 cents. The parable of the talents. There were people, they were given talents, and that one who got the 5 talents, he went and multiplied. The one who got 1 thought, why should I multiply it, so that the rich man, will come back and take it? You see, so we have lessons of, it's not just about me coming and feeding you. It's about me come, feed you, empower you, and give you knowledge, give you wisdom, equip you with skills that you can go out there and you can be able to feel equipped, empowered, and know that I am walking from the past, going to my future.
Music to my ear. It's exactly that.
So we have a lot of people who have logged in today. So we have Brenda Flores from the States. She said great things. We have Magdalena Habwe. I think she's from Kenya. Great stuff. We have, she says very well about Destiny Helpers, Destiny Connectors. We have Mireille from Australia. Wow, she's still awake. And she says hello.
Yeah, that's my sister.
She's somebody, she's really put a bar for us. So thank you so much, Mireille. We have David.
Thank you, Mireille.
From Ethiopia, say super message. So, it is a message that needs to be spoken out there. It is not just about people giving money. Today you can eat. What about tomorrow?
Exactly.
If I give you today, I need to equip you, to teach you, to give you skills that will be able to provide for you tomorrow and the day after, to your children and to their children and children's children, because it's about us leaving a legacy. It's about us giving our children a destiny that they can look up, a brighter one, because as you teach somebody else skills, you're teaching your children as well. Somebody else will teach them as well. You never know where, ends will meet. Like you said, you were high, you had everything. And then when family went apart, it was like a drop down, like you swing from the stairs without going on your footstep, but you just roll down. And
Exactly.
it's a heavy thing. It's a really heavy thing. And when people learn that it's about teaching people, empowering them, I will feed you. Jesus went and fed, but also taught how to find and to multiply what he was giving. So we are going to take a short break, and when we come back, we are going to get more from Eva on her journey and how she combines her coaching with her translation and how they complement each other, also as she continues to serve her community. So just stay tuned. Take a cup of coffee quickly, a glass of water, and then come back, sit down, and just get this information. And know it is important to be an empowerment person, inspiration, not just feeding, but also equipping. Because knowledge, nobody can take away from you. You can translate that into wisdom and work it so that it can serve you even into the future. So stay tuned. We'll be back in a minute.
Chosen generation, we've been called for to show His excellence. Hey, all I require for life, God has given me, and I know who I am. We are a chosen generation, we've been called for to show His excellence. All I require for life, God has given me, for I know who I am. I know who God says I am, what He says I am, where He says I'm at. I know who I am. I know who God says I am, what He says I am, where He says I'm at. I know who I am. I'm working in power.
Hello, welcome back.
I put my glasses back on.
You said you don't want to see a reflection of me and you on the same time.
Yes, exactly. Oh, beautiful. So, don't you like that song?
It's awesome.
I just love I Know Who I Am. It's a beautiful song.
And, and that's the thing, and that's why I even wrote this book, Who Are You? Knowing who you are, it's a self-identity, understanding your identity, understanding where you're coming from, where you're going. What is your passion? Who are you? We all have a purpose. You also said we all have a purpose. We all have a calling here. And whatever we have, experienced in our past, it does not define our future, because that is the past. But you can turn that so that it can bring a brighter future for you. It can teach somebody and support somebody and help somebody to know and to understand that it's not about your past. It's about what the future holds out for you. And you can only know that when you begin to understand who you are.
Yes, definitely.
Yes, and you will not walk in anybody's shadow, because you will know your power, you know your strength, you know your community, you know your tribe, you know what your visions are, what your dreams are, what your passions are, and you begin to work that one after the other. Even if you're going out there to support, you always support one after the other, but it's after understanding who you are. It's understanding, are you ready for that servanthood? Are you ready for what is going to be out there? Have you become robust enough to know that there will be critics, but how will you deal with those critics? Will they grow you or will they break you? As you said, words are powerful. They can either grow you or break you. And you can choose as an individual. Do you want it to break you or do you want it to grow you?
And I like what you said, about servanthood, because it took me years to understand, but everything we do is to serve. And you asked earlier that I explained, how I combine the work I'm doing with everything else? Well, I summed up everything as servanthood. You see, I believe as an entrepreneur that once I found my niche, I found my field, and my field is into languages. I love languages. You know, I learned Italian when I was in high school, and I learned it on my own. Yes. And
Bravo.
I just loved it, you know. And I also learned a bit of Spanish as well. I did a bit of German, but I didn't like the teacher, so I quit German. Sorry, but I just know Guten Tag, Guten Abend, but then I thought, no, this is not for me. The teacher is just not nice, like really. That's when I went for Spanish, you see, and I did Latin as well.
Oh,
Mens
wow.
sana in corpore sano. Yes, that's when, and I learned that sentence there, I just love languages. And growing up and developing myself, going to university, and then starting working, I understood that our professions should be seen as a way to serve others. And if we all see it that way, then we will do our work with passion and we will respect everyone. We will also give our best shot because we know that we are serving, And when you're serving, you try to make it a beautiful experience. That's what I give to my clients. But if you are a crappy client, I'm sorry. I will tell you, you know what? I didn't become an entrepreneur to deal with your crap. I'm just sorry. I think that there must be a mutual respect between the client and the company. So when I started being a translator, I thought, what can I do to take it to the next level? And that's when I thought, I don't just want to be a translator. I want to be my own boss. I want to have my company. I want to do more things than just being a translator. That's when I started my company called Transcentral Pty Limited. And let me tell you, in 4 years, because before that I was working full-time for a French organization, and I learned a lot, obviously. But in 4 years, now it's my 4th year as an entrepreneur and as the owner and founder of my company, I've done extraordinary things. Sometimes I have to pinch myself to just to see that, yes, this happened to me. Let me show you a few things that we've done. These books, this is L'Afrique en Marche. So it's like, it's been translated from English to French by my company, Transcentral Pty Limited. And the authors are Greg Mills, Jeffrey Herbst, His Excellency Olusegun Obasanjo, the former president of Nigeria, and Dickie Davis. Then recently we also did that one. It's another one, La Démocratie Marche. We also translated it from English to French. And Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, the former president of, what is it again? Now I can't think. Well, I'm sure people know. Now I can't think.
They will know that, yes.
Yeah, sorry, it was there. I lost it. But she was, I think, the first president of that country. I think maybe someone in the audience will remember. I just can't think about it. But anyway, imagine as a translator and entrepreneur, like working for those people, and doing such and having your name written here as one of the translators and as the company that did the whole project. I mean, it doesn't happen overnight.
No, it doesn't. And the books are not
many. You see, there are not many translators who can say that they had that opportunity. For some, it's just a dream, to be able to translate a book that's published and that's written by people so important. And that book is also written by Greg Mills, also His Excellency Olusegun Obasanjo, Jeffrey Herbst, yes, and Tendai Biti. He was the former minister of finances in Zimbabwe. So imagine those, and I met all of them during the the book launch that took place in the French residence. Yes, wow, indeed. And that's why I'm saying that, you know what, God is
great.
I can't even say, because for him to take Eva from where she was to where she is today, you know, there's no words. I can only say thank you, God. Hallelujah. Really, like
Amen.
really, it's a miracle. Like, you know,
Amen.
and you know, now I see this as my way of serving people. And when I translate, I give it my best shot. I think about what is the best way for me to put the message through, you see, so that people will understand, you know. Sometimes I even give ideas to the client that, you know what, maybe you can say it that way instead of that way. Why am I doing this? Because I want to serve the best way ever. Now, taking servanthood even further, I want to serve my community, my global community. I want to serve those girls, you know, I want to help them because I know parents are struggling. It's not easy for a parent nowadays with everything going on, you know, like having Facebook, having Instagram, having TikTok, having, you know, bullying at school, having low self-esteem because of everything that is happening. You know, I watched a documentary that said that this generation is suffering even more of self-esteem than the generations before. And this is, you know, when you think about it, this is very sad. It means that there is work to do. You see, so I'm serving them, you know, the same way, for example, Mireille Toulekima is serving women over the world, you know. I think each one of us has something, a calling, and you feel it and you know when you have found it because it's deep inside of you, you know. So sometimes people tell me, but why don't you help children also? I said, no, there are people helping children. I know. But I'm there to help those girl children, those young men, young women, those teen moms. That's my calling. And I must stick to it, you know, because if I don't, I will not be able to live with myself or to even talk to God because I know I would have disappointed him, you see. So I'm using servanthood in everything I do. I even see servanthood in my family because it's a blessing to have a family that you love, that loves you. And it is our responsibility as a wife, as a mom, as a daughter, as a sister, you know, to nurture that. And it takes time and it takes energy, but it is worth it. Do you see how servanthood can be used everywhere? And you feel good about it, you see? So now, taking that servanthood, I also thought, because before I started with She Phoenix, Femme Phoenix, I had a site, a website called newmoi.org. And that's when I wrote that book, New Moi, New Life, 5 Ways to Build a New You and Live an Extraordinary Life. That book is about Eva many years after the Eva teenage girl. You see, it's me coming out of my shell and you know, being happy and living those extraordinary moments that I never thought I would one day. I never thought I would be married to a wonderful man like my husband. I never thought I would have, you know, other children. I never thought I would be as successful as I am now. You know, for me, everything is extraordinary because I don't take anything for granted. And every day I wake up, you know, my husband and my children are teasing me because I'm always like, have you seen that sunshine or that rainbow? Do you hear the birds singing? And they're like, really? But you know, to me, it's beautiful. Like, I'm just enjoying it. I'm so connected to nature. I just love that, you know? And that's what this book is about, motivating people to understand that we are made in God's image, to understand that you need self-love, to understand that you need to work on your thoughts, your thinking, and stop giving strength to all the negative thoughts that are going through your mind, you know, and encouraging people to actually face their fears and dare in life, you know. But once again, I'm too much. It's already, we've done 1 hour.
Don't worry. Don't worry, because as it might sound like it's a lot, but it is touching somebody out there. It is changing somebody out there right now. It is something that somebody might watch later, maybe even a week later, but then they just stumbled on it, and they were probably going through something, and just one word that you talked about changed the whole course of that person's life.
I'm hoping that
and
it's the case.
we might never know all the people that are being touched or changed because of one or two other words that we have spoken extra unknowingly and thinking that we have talked too much. But
Yes.
yes, it's true. One day it's either it's only between them and God that knows what you said and you thought it was talking too much. It was changing another person's life. And that person just had to stay that long, or just needed to stay that long to watch you say you're talking a lot, but then captured things, captured an attitude, captured an inspiration, a motivation that changed a whole new journey for this person. And it can only happen when we speak out, so that people can know all over. Because like you said, before, we never used to have all these channels where you could get information, where you could get education, where you could get motivation, support, wherever. Nowadays we have all these technologies which can be used to motivate people, to get people inspired, to move people from where they are to their purpose, to their calling, to move them to go to the next level, because they understand that it is not just me where I am. There is somebody in Africa who is going through the same thing, and they've changed their world from where they are, so I can change it. There is somebody in Europe or in the America. I don't need to travel anywhere. I just need to understand who I am, to understand what are my passion, what is my dream, to understand that what my past is just turning into a future that is brighter, and I can flip that coin, because I have just had Eva talk about how her coin was flipped, how she had that unwavering faith to know
Amen to that. Yeah.
she can do it. She will make it. No matter how many obstacles, arrows that were shot to her, she knew, I will make it. Having that unwavering faith, going one step at a time, knowing that it might be painful right now. Everything is just collapsed. I look like, nothing, rubbish. Right now, people look at me with different eyes. When they look at me, I feel that pain. It's like somebody has stabbed my back.
Exactly.
But then now you are where you are because you pushed on in that moment. You went through that process, and you came out refined like a gold. And there you are shining. There you are.
You are beautiful.
And it's all about what people bring out. You are in South Africa, I'm here in Germany. Somebody from the US is watching. Somebody from Ethiopia is watching. Mireille is watching from Australia. Who knows who will be watching it from Australia or from Canada or from wherever. And they're going through something. But yet they see, if that person overcame that, I will also overcome it. And I am going to push through, just like she pushed through. I'm going to look for her on Facebook. I'm going to find her wherever she is. I'm going to contact her. I'm going to ask her, I want you to walk with me. Teach me. Show me how. That's how connections come.
Amen to that. And that's so true. You said it so beautifully. Exactly. That's how it works. And I don't think we can explain everything in 1 hour.
Of course not. Of course not. But at least the most important things have come out, and that's what all matters. Even if not everything, but there is something that has come out that will really bring somebody from that pitfall into their purpose, into their calling, into their place of prosperity, into their place of, wherever,
Yes,
because
definitely.
it's a process. And
It
it's
is
a process we all go through.
And you know, once we accept that we have to go, I see it as a rite of passage, you know. Once we've accepted to go through that rite of passage, believe me, if you do things honestly, if you open up, if you face, you know, I always say you have to take what is in the past, you know, the ghost of the past, and then expose them for what they are. You talk to them, you insult them, you just explain everything. And once you deal with it, then you transform that. You transform the broken into, you bring it to life. You bring it to you make it become something so beautiful that everything you do is there to give life, you know. And that's, you know, that's why I called my nonprofit organization She Phoenix, Femme Phoenix, because I am She Phoenix, because a phoenix rise from its ashes, you know, so you have to die to then rise and soar. And that's how I see myself. So you know, some people call me She Phoenix. I said, yes, I am She Phoenix, and I'm proud of it. And all the girls that are part of my organization they are She Phoenix, Femme Phoenix, because they are rising. It's about rebirth, you know, and it's beautiful because once you are born again, suddenly you are fired up and you are ready for whatever. You are hungry for more, you know, and you just give it your all. You apply yourself to it, and that's very important, you see.
Awesome. Wow. So thank you so much, Eva. I am so blessed to have hosted you today. I am so grateful I had that opportunity because I know you have a lot on your plate. But I said, I have to meet this lady. I have to host her on my show. She invited me to watch me. We didn't even know each other. We didn't even talk, but yet there you are. You gave us the opportunity to mentor these young ladies, to mentor these young teens. And it was awesome. It was an experience that I felt very touched, motivated, encouraged myself, even just being there coaching these girls and knowing that I will probably never meet them. I will never know who they are, but at least I know who their mother is. I know who their mentor is. I know who their queen is. And I will have her on my show. Then I will meet her. We can say now we meet face to face, virtually face to face. But I know that if one day physically we meet, but then just knowing that it doesn't matter where you are, there is no barrier to whatever you can do. You can touch a life from wherever you are. You just need to say, here I am, what can I do? And step up into that place.
That's so true. And you know, I just want to say that I'm hoping that at the end of everything, the legacy that I leave is one of hope, one of love, one of a network of young women who are there to empower other girls who are going through what they are going through. Because we can't do it alone, you see. And I want my girls to grow as, you know, strong women, you know, leaders, female leaders. And, you know, I have to show them, I have to be an example myself to show them, you know, the way forward. And this is the legacy I want to leave. I want them to know that they have a seed of greatness inside of them. I want them to know that, you know what, a mistake is only a mistake. When you do your mistake, you learn your lesson, you get up and you continue, you move forward. Because, and what people think of you doesn't matter. What matters is what you think of yourself, you see.
Exactly.
And I just want to make my girls feel special. A shout out to some of my girls from She Phoenix, Amanda, Enrique, Carol, Naledi, Annalisa, Tsumbo, and all of them. There are so many girls. I love you. I love the fact that you call me mommy. It makes me like, oh. And all the girls from She Phoenix, all the girls, the French-speaking girls who are now doing the French challenge that started about a month, almost a month ago. We are going to the end of it now. And I'm very excited because we are going to have a community outreach in Soweto, Johannesburg this Saturday. I'm so excited because, it's one thing to do things online, but it's another thing to also have activities, on the ground. And I'm not even going to a venue. I'm actually going to the yard of one of the girls, and we will just meet there, gather them. And I got some in-kind donations, and we are going to pray together. We are going to talk about the different activities. There is another activity that's also coming up, the entrepreneurship program for teen moms. It's actually an entrepreneurship training. And I love that because at the end of it, the winner will get a capital to start a business. That's our way of helping them develop small businesses and earn a little bit of money while going to school, you see, because we want to teach them how to fish, you see. So this is what I'm talking about. And this is just one thing, really. We are doing so many things. I can't even start saying all the things. And I'm writing my second book. I've been saying that for months now.
Awesome.
Yeah, so thank you for having me, Leah. And
thank you very
really,
much.
God bless you. I thank God for this opportunity. I love everyone. Thank you to all the sponsors who are part of the She Phoenix Femme Phoenix family. I just love you. Thank you to all my sisters out there. Thank you to my family. Thank you to my family my in-laws, Davi, Severin, Natalie, my in-laws, everyone, my father-in-law, my mother-in-law, my mom, my brother, everyone, I don't want anyone to feel like if I didn't say my name, I can't say your name like all of you. But, you are all in my heart and I love you. And thank you so much.
Awesome. You're such a sunshine. Thank you so much for showing up. Thank you so much for the great works that you're doing out there. And thank you so much for all the people who are really supporting you there. And, we are here supporting you from where we are in any way. And we are glad that, we can be able to change lives from where we are. So thank you so much for coming in this evening, taking all that time and just showing up. Thank you very much. Thank you to all who are watching live with your comments. We really appreciate it. Next week, we are back, same time, same place. We are having a great gentleman who has such a beautiful story, a story that I believe it will change a lot of people as well because of where he's coming from to where he is right now. It will be a beautiful session. So make sure you come in, same time, same place, same host. My name is Dr. Leah, and our guest today was Eva from South Africa. Stay blessed. Until next time, goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for watching.
Your heart is tarnished black and blue. Betrayal is a feeling, not a word anymore. You won't fall in love again. You've opened up too many times to be let down once more. And you say, I'll build a wall around myself.